Hello fellow entrepreneurs, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a topic that is quite popular and, to be honest, quite scary too. It is about where the coronavirus came from. Let's get straight into the video. We all know that the coronavirus is spreading quickly around Asia, and it has actually reached a death toll of more than 1,000 people, and the death toll is still going higher by the day. This is because they have not yet found a cure for it or anything that can delay the process of it. So a brief summary before we go into depth about this. Sources say that this virus is very similar to the SARS disease that started quite a few years ago in China. SARS stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. It originally started in February 2003. Well, the first thing we'll be addressing is where the virus came from. Now, there has been a pinpoint on the exact country it started in, which is Wuhan in China. A few experts started off by saying that the virus started in a food market in Wuhan, where they sell bat soup. Now, naturally, coronaviruses are viruses that are transported and traveled through animals. If you get close enough, or even in this case eat an animal with the coronavirus, then you'll definitely be infected. This is because it is an airborne disease. However, there is a new expert source claiming that it wasn't the bat suit that caused the virus to come back. They're saying that it was the illegal transportation of the pangolin. The pangolin is a rare animal, which means you have to be very wealthy to own one, and the only way to get your hands on one in China is to illegally bring it into the country. But for now, that has not been 100% confirmed, so we'll be sticking to the bat soup story. Not only is it bat soup, but there are images of the bat soup being consumed by a woman, and there are also images of other animals in the market that are kept in cages ready to be freshly cut and eaten. These animals include snakes, deers, and even dogs. As a dog lover, I feel horrible about this, but let's just move on to the next point. Now, if you want to know how this spreads, then you should keep watching. The virus is spread from person to person, which means that if you're within a 6 feet radius of someone that has the virus, then you're most likely to get it yourself. The scary part is that the virus takes 14 days to incubate, and that means that it's in a person's body for 14 days before they start showing symptoms. The scarier part is that it can still spread during the incubation stages. This is why you're seeing a lot of people wearing masks on public transport, and some even in their own homes. Next, we're going to look at the symptoms of this horrific virus. Now, the main one is a scratchy throat and, well, flu-like symptoms, including a fever, which is horrible right now in America because it is the flu season, so be careful, guys. The second most important symptom is shortness of breath. This means your respiratory system is not functioning properly and needs to be checked out. You can kind of try to prevent getting the virus by washing your hands after touching literally anything, and if you sneeze or cough, be sure to do it into a tissue or your inner elbow for the safety of others. Now, when should you see a doctor? You must go and see a doctor immediately if you feel any of these symptoms. Even if it's just the flu, it's still definitely worth checking it out, for the safety of your loved ones around you and for the safety of anyone else around you. Make sure you wear a mask if you have any symptoms to avoid it spreading. Also, when you book an appointment, you gotta make sure you tell them you have symptoms that you think are linked to the coronavirus, just so that they're prepared to get you tested as soon as you walk into the consultation room. An interesting fact about what the coronavirus has done is that America has cancelled any flights coming from China or its surrounding countries to prevent the virus from spreading more than it already is in their continent. Currently, there are 8 residents in California that have the coronavirus and are quarantined. However, the 200 members of the US Embassy from China, possibly Wuhan, have recently been brought over to San Diego to be quarantined and tested for the virus. There was a mishap that led to them falsely testing a woman, and apparently she came back as a negative, but she was later on diagnosed to be positive for the virus a week later and was sent back to UC San Diego. No one knows how many people she has been in contact with, but it is a matter of time until we find out. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I hope you sort of enjoyed this video and learned something, I guess. Feel free to leave it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe. Also, please be careful out there, especially if you live in countries that are heavily affected by the virus. Try to keep your kids away from it and also yourselves. Remember that sanitization is what will help to prevent it. You gotta wash your hands after you touch anything that you know hasn't been cleaned by you, and keep sanitizing your hands to make sure the extra germs are off there. My name's Stu, and you've been watching the Entrepreneur Network. I'll see you guys next time in our next video.